And then you take people turn and go.
If that's the version she's doing.
I'm surprised. Is there still a scrappy one?
That's in the morning.
Page 150. Oh, you want this back? Hey.
Oh yeah, probably. Thank you.
Liverpool, 3 in Glasgow, 3 in
I was just going to text you. Thank you.
Well, and I've got the hotel. The hotels are nice. And then the trains are the trains.
And the air, it's really nasty because they have to be issued by the 11th.
I know.
And it's actually all our tickets are refundable.
Okay.
But then
Alright, well, still. Yeah, I mean, if we just leave this in the Cowboys, I wouldn't feel bad about it because they're not responding.
yeah, that's the challenge that I would have by the way is only one of those is like an A-tier destination London, the other ones are all like B-tier.
Well, I mean, you could always just contact the hotel directly and put in the reservation.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have a caramel tea?
But the ones that I have looked at are closed. Now, but if we're talking about doing a different
Rabbi?
yeah, well, there's a
Rabbi?
Come on up. It's a nice hotel. It's the same tier of hotel as the one that you're in. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I told them high end.
Scale check.
Yeah, like I'd rather stay in the converted. What?
Oh, there we go.
Thank you, sweetie. Who? Hold on. Don't tell me. Shalia?
If you don't need to get any coach, just come with me to the airport. I'll point you which direction you want.
Oh, I can tell.
A lot of energy. That's why.
All right. So I'll keep it that way if I can. But this person
I don't have my water yet either. I don't know if he does that. We got to go over everything with him.
So by the time I wake up, it's in the meal, it's off. There are some baseballs up there.
Oh yeah.
No, they're on the door right there.
That's just in case.
Yeah. It's in case we need this marker from the first pitch.
What's this doing this to me? Shabbat Shalom. It's so good to see everyone here. Our last family service of this year. And as our custom has been for many, 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 many years, we of course on this Shabbat honor our teachers and madrichim. And I'm very excited because it has been a very, very long time for us to be together and for us to have the mazel tones with us. So we're very excited. We have mazel tones in the house. Woo! So nice to have some normality. Behold how good and how pleasant it is that we are together as one congregational family as we begin with Hine Ma Tov. Nice. Thank you, mazel tones. We continue with lighting of the Shabbat candles. I'd like to call upon our bar mitzvah of tomorrow morning, Malachi Sarensen, and his parents Jake and Shay, and sisters Lila and Tegan. Page 120, 121.
Our fourth child. Hi. This is our extra, our bonus kid.
This is our extra daughter.
Hi.
And of course, if you notice there's two pagination systems in your prayer book, we're using the blue pagination system. If you have two. If you only have one, then you're at the right page, I'm sure.
Okay, just read off. As the Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our day, be among those who kindle light. This one.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehaligner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
And now that we've welcomed Shabbat, I invite you to welcome the person next to you. Wish someone next to you a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Just like you'll be tomorrow. Page 138, we continue with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom umevorach. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom umevorach. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla.
Page 144. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah b'alma divra kirutei v'yamich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chay dechol beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mivarach le'olam le'omaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitboar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh ויתהלל שמי דקודשה, יהלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן.
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruits so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways.
We continue with Baruch Hu on page 146. Please rise if you're able to, either physically or in spirit.
Please turn to page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechochma poteach she'arim uvit vuna meshane itim umachalif et hazmanim sader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono.
Bore yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshek, vechoshek mipnei or. Uma avir yom, umevi layla, umabdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai sevaot shmo. El kai v'chayam tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim.
This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Please join me on page 150. You may be seated or no? Okay. Oh, it's me. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah umitzvot, chukim umishpatim, otanu limadata, al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbenu uvkomenu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, umitzvotecha leolam va'ed, ki hem chayenu ve'orech yamenu, uvahem negeyom yomam v'layla, ve'ahavatcha al tas'ir, mimenu leolamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
I invite us all to take a deep breath in, breathe out. Page 152, 153. Another deep breath in.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated as we continue with Ve'ahavta on page 154, led by our bar mitzvah of tomorrow morning, Malachi Sarenson.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך, בביתך, ובלבתך בדרך, ובשוק בך, ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohim. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you to this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on your doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God.
Please turn to page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heaves declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'adar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osei fele, malchut techa ra'u banecha, bokei yam lifnei Moshech u'Miriam, ze eli anu v'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Please join me responsively in English. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Your children witnessed your sovereignty and sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Please turn to page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Page 162. Veshamru b'nei Israel et Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורתם בברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם בברית עולם. ביני ובין ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בתורתם בברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בתורתם בברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בתורתם בברית
We continue now the central portion of our worship with the tefillah on pages 164, 166, and 168. Please rise if you are able. Got one out. It's a very soothing way to enter the tefillah, which is our minhag here.
Adonai sefat tifta ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips and my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Elohei Avoteinu, Ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Ve'elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Hayahadir Hakol, Ve'hoker V'stei Avot, Ve'imachot, Umevi Gedulav Vivnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezra Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechayel Hayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Ravim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Rasurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Mimit Umechayem, Umatmia Yeshua, Bene'ema Natale Achayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated.
Turn to page 173.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace.
May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise.
Please turn to page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers.
There we may find you, and there find courage, insight, endurance, and let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service.
We continue on page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam Ki Atah Hu Melech Adon L'chol HaShalom V'tov Be'eneka Levarek Et Amcha Yisrael B'chol Eit U'v'chol Sha'ah B'shlomecha Baruch Atah Adonai HaMorek Et Amo Yisrael B'Shalom.
Please join me on page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
I'm always inspired by this service to have not just the religious school teachers and the Hebrew school teachers, but our preschool staff to help us lead this service. It's just so cool to me, so I want to thank you all. That was really neat. It's kind of interesting how we mark time. For me, this is kind of like, for us, I guess, in the school, this is kind of the beginning of the end of the school year. And that's what the service represents. But it's interesting that in this parsha, in Emor, in the book of Leviticus, it talks a lot about the holidays. So who can remind me, what is the most important holiday we have in our tradition? This is what I heard. Shabbat. Yeah, just the preschool teacher got it, that's all I'm saying. Shabbat, the most important holiday. And then the next tier of most important holidays, what would that be? Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, good, the high holidays. And then the third tier? Hanukkah. No, sorry. Hanukkah is not even on, it doesn't even have a tier. Hanukkah is way below, sorry. It's very minor. The Shalosh Regalim, exactly, the 3 pilgrimage festivals, which are Pesach, the best, which we just had, Shavuot's coming up soon with confirmation, and of course we have Sukkot in the fall. And what's interesting is that each of these help us mark time. That's why I think Shabbat's the most important, because it occurs each week. That's why we mark time. And why do we mark time? Because time is holy. And as you age, you realize how holy time truly is. It really is. And so in this moment of silent reflection that we're about to do, I invite us to take a moment and to think about how we mark that sense of time and how we feel holy at the same time, if you will. What is it that makes us feel holy? I don't know. Leading services, being together, that's kind of a holy thing. Working with a child, working with a student that our madrachim and morim morot have done, that'd be an example of that as well. But each of us touch other people's lives, and in a way, we create holiness in that interaction, and we mark time in that interaction. So I invite us to take a few moments as we pause in silent reflection. think our muzzle tones got a lot bigger during COVID, is all I'm saying. I invite us to take a deep breath in. As we now take this opportunity to think about those members of our community who are ill and in need of healing. That illness may be a physical one, a mental one, or a spiritual one. On this Shabbat, we think of Sally Amarendez, Chana Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Chana, Bob Bell, Robert Berg, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sandy Beinstock, Barry Brown, Rich Burns, Dr. Ed Kahn, Chu Chi, Talia Sorowski, Jay Cohen, Deanna Courtwright, Bunny Fisher, Carolyn Franklin, Bruce Frambach, Holly Fugit, Marcia Gieser, Marina Gaffney, Sharon Jenkin, Charlene Griffin, Ted Guglin, Olivia Hand, Linda Harris, Dr. Gary Height, Gail Jacobs, Jesse Jessen, Jennifer Johnson, Mimi Jones, Rosie Gurman, Janie Kalp, Melissa Katz, Evan Katz-McCosker, Mark Kasanovich, Deborah Lanning, Shirley Lerner, Carol Lesage, Litia Leos, Bobby Lotman, Austin Lucero, Janice Lucero, Gerald Maddox, Ariana Madison, Harlan Madison, Stephen Morcera, Neil McElwee, Vivian Cooper Moore, Gunther Mayberg, Barbara Wanamaker Neiman, Brad Parkins, Gabrielle Pollock, bless you, Stephanie Rasmussen, Linda Rogers, Gordon Robinson, Laura Danoff Robinson, Shalia Rosenbaum, Devon Ross, Gary Sanders, Laura Sanders, Malachi Sarenson, Donna Shine, JoJo Silver, Harrison Silverman, and their baby, Eileen Sweet, Donna Thyman, Pham Tai Trang, Gina Thrower, Kara Thayer, Steve Umeki, Teresa Walsh, Jeannie Watson, Marty Weisberg, Nancy Weisenfeld, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong, Yaakov Ben Ada, Brandon Yarkin, and everyone who is suffering with coronavirus. If you wish to add another name to our healing list, I invite you to raise your hand. As my hand passes before you, please call out that name. Thank you. We wish upon all those we mentioned and those who remain unnamed, a refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery, as we join together praying for their better health as we continue with Misha Berach by Debbie Friedman. Well, it takes a team to create a school, or schools in this case. And we're going to take a moment here and acknowledge so many members of our amazing team. And I want to take the opportunity actually to begin really with Mira, our religious school chairperson, for leading our religious school so beautifully and for doing it for quite a while now. And we so appreciate all the work you've done, Mira. In a moment, we'll invite you up here. And our Vice President of Education and Youth, Sherry Wiesner, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Excuse us. Give me a chance here, man. Oy vey, Esmer. Oh, boy. But Cher, I want to thank you because the role that you have done really is an incredible role, and you've also done this for a while. But it's not just someone on a board level. You're a hands-on teacher too, so you get firsthand the importance of really advocating for the teaching staff. I guess it helps that Monday through Friday you're also a teacher, so it runs in your blood, but you are magnificent. I want to thank you. We also, of course, now on the preschool side, I want to thank Rebecca Frederick, our preschool chairperson as well, who's done an incredible job and is actually going to be assuming a kind of a new position this year as our Chavurah chairperson. So we are very excited about all of your involvement and your leadership. Your husband's okay too. But I really also want to thank two very, very special people, and that's the directors of our program. Barbara Smead, who's our early childhood educator, director of early childhood educator, and she has been with us officially till about 2000. It took me about a year to find her, but we found her and we opened the school in 2001, September 24th. I know the date well, my wife's birthday. And it has been, I think we told the board, give us 3 years and we'll make it successful. Within a year and a half, it was successful. It is a amazing, amazing program, and really it all has to do with her. We have a great staff, but it would never have happened without this woman when we had 1, then 2, and then 3 students the first year in 01 to create such a program and to not only be good at what she does, but she actually became, on the national board, the first non-Jewish preschool director to be on the national board of the Reform Movement's ECE. So I'm very impressed with our Barbara Smead, aren't you? Pretty impressive. We also, of course, have the one and only Phil Hankin, who we just re-signed, actually. I think we gave you another deal, didn't we, and everything? We just re-signed you? Yeah, I think he's staying around a little bit longer. But I want to thank my fellow RJE, Reformed Jewish Educator by title, as he received his during this past COVID. He's did do something during COVID. I think last year. But I want to thank you, Phil, for all the energy you give. The one thing I asked you to do when you were hired was to create a camp and exciting energy for our synagogue. We wanted to change up how we did things here, and you have really done that. And I want to thank you so much for your energy. And honestly, I really love working with the two of you. The three of us are the programmatic, the education staff, as the case may be, and we've created a lot together. And I love how the fact that we can lean into each other's programs, that we don't keep to our silos. We are truly a collaborative team, and it means all the world. So I want to invite the two of you to come up here, and let's share with our congregation the amazing work of our teachers and madrachim.
Every year we argue about who's going first. By the way, every year I win. He's a gentleman, that's all it is. So I actually wrote something this year, which I don't usually, but it's been a really special kind of year. So every year I stand up here and I thank my staff for their support to our school, our students, and of me. And though I feel the same way still, this year it's just different. The first year of COVID was hard, really hard in the preschool. But the second year somehow feels harder. We have noticed that we, the parents and those around us, are all a bit more tired, a bit more frustrated, and I think just overly done with all of this. And in the preschool, we have all felt that this year more than ever before on a daily basis. But our staff has pulled together even stronger and have given so much support and encouragement to everyone who has stepped through our preschool doors. They have gone from running kids up and down the stairs to drop off and pick up every single day, twice a day. We got our steps in. Sanitizing toilet handles between tushies. That was definitely a fun one for us. Cleaning the playground multiple times a day. Masks on, masks off. Masks, get out of the mouth, please. Masks, they do not belong on top of your head. It's been an adventure, but thank you, Bill. And then when we took off the mask, hello, stomach flu. It's just really been a special sort of year. And my teacher was all smiling, going, yep, and we did it. That being so, if I had to go through another pandemic in a preschool, I would want it with the same team all over again. They have had my back, and I appreciate it. My sincerest thanks to Rabbi Magat. for the encouragement this year, both near and from afar, for listening to my moments of complete exasperation, for being a sounding board, for simply hearing me and understanding what our year has been like. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Cantor Chaffritz, for your Wednesday morning music time with my kids. It's been a little bit of normalcy in a very challenging time. We're glad you joined our staff. Thank you to Kira, Carrie, and Christina, my assistant directors. These three keep me organized, find the things that I lose, make me look good every day, and sometimes bring me hot chocolate, which is always a win. They seem to know when I need it most. Thank you to Sarah, Connie, Sohaila, and of course Carrie for taking on the Worlds of Twos in one of the largest groups of twos we have had in 20 years. Thank you to Veronica, Rachel, Denise, and Vanessa. They're out there somewhere. There they are. For keeping our threes moving and somehow managing the silliness that this year has brought to both of our 3-year-old rooms. It's been high energy. Thank you to Frankie, Lupe, Tanya, and of course Christina for great work with our pre-K and kinder classrooms. They're a very advanced group this year, and you've all done a fantastic job keeping them challenged and engaged. It has been a special time, but all of you make Team TEPS what it is today. So thank you guys.
Call them up.
Do we want to hit that?
We'll call them up. Yeah.
Kira, Carrie, Christina, Sahara, Sohaila, Sarah, come on up. Vanessa, Veronica, Denise, Rachel, you guys are making me test my brain. Tanya, Rachel, who else is left sitting that I'm not telling? Kira, I do have you right. All right. Thank you. Our wonderful, amazing preschool staff. Now they're yours.
Okay.
All right. No pressure.
No pressure? I have to follow that?
You got to follow
Okay,
that.
all right, great. Want a little story about a little bit more like 10 days ago. I was at a community event honoring some teen educators in the area here, and I sit on this award committee for Bay Area to choose this award to honor a Bay Area Jewish teen educator. And while I was at the ceremony, this woman comes up to me and she says, "I don't know if you remember me, but you were my 4th grade religious school teacher at Temple Sinai many years ago, and I do not remember anything that you taught me except that the Ve'ahavta. I know it because you did this great thing with us in this game, and to this day, I know the Ve'ahavta, and every time I do it, I think of you." And so what that marked for me is what I try to instill in the teaching staff that we have here, is that making those memorable moments, those moments where students will hearken back on some aspect of what you have done for them in the classroom, on the playground, and it could be as simple as something you have said, or an activity that you led, or the way you taught this particular prayer or something, and that's what we're all in the business for. My father was a school teacher. I wanted to be a school teacher. He said, "No, don't go into education. There's no money. So go into business." But eventually, I was an accounting major, by the way, in when I got my degree. So here I am. What do you know? So it comes back around, and I am so thankful for being a part of this synagogue and this institution, and to have the team of teachers and teenagers that we have here is just truly amazing. And I am overwhelmed at times on my drives down, thinking about the people that I get to work with and the students that we get to engage, and that makes it just that much more special. So I would like to honor all of those teachers. So when you hear your name, please come up. So I would like to, again, for our Bonim class, which is our kindergarten and 1st grade class, Sherry Wiesner. Our Giberim class, which is our 2nd and 3rd graders, Maggie Newman. Our 4th grade teacher, our Mechina teacher, Danny Patiz. She also is our 8th and 9th year. She basically does everything in the high school. So she's also our youth advisor and a number of other things that she does for us. And then our 5th grade, our Shoshanim group, Christina Fernandez. And then finally our 6th and 7th grade teacher, our Shomrim group, that's Lynn Offenhartz. our wonderful, amazing, and dynamic art teacher, Deborah Jacobstein. You should see the stuff that she produces. It's just truly amazing. And of course, my comrades in arms, as it were, Rabbi and Cantor, you lead our confirmation class, and just you're involved in everything, and your fingerprints are all over this place. And so I could not feel welcomed and valued, and I love the camaraderie that we have together. So thank you. Now, I have a long list of teenagers that I also want to do, because these teens are truly the most amazing. I've worked at other institutions and had teams of Madrachim, and by far, right now, the 20 names that I'm about to read, they are so involved and so wonderful, and they are dedicated to this place. They love this place, and they love their kids, and they love being here on Sunday mornings, and they just give it their all. So when you hear your name, please come up. Lucas Brown, Naomi Brown, Ryan Bostek, Max Carr, Ben Dietering, Gracie Dietering, Carly Gold, Julia Meltzer, Jared Nussbaum, Mira Nussbaum, Malika Osias, Jordan Rose, Ari Snyder, Dylan Solpan, Caden Solpan, Dara Turchin, Rachel Weinberg, Samantha Wiesner, Sarah Vogler, and Ellie Weinstein. This is our group.
Well, it is a Friday night. You know, yeah, it's a Friday night.
There you go. I also have another group. Didn't make my list, unfortunately, and I won't, but my Hebrew teachers. So we have a special program for our weekday Hebrew, and we call it Torah School, and they meet with their students online. And it allows the greater flexibility of what we do for teaching Hebrew, and it's a very special moment for dedicated time, one-on-one, and these teachers do such an amazing job. I completely forget about them because they do all this stuff on their own. So I would like to call up Cheryl Magat, Greg Turetsky, Christina Fernandez, you're already here. Maggie Newman, you're already here. Danny Patiz, you're already here. And Brandon Folb, who could not make it, but he's also part of this group. And then there's one other person.
Yes, there is. I was going to.
Megan.
That's right. Okay, good.
Megan, you need to come up. And bring the little guy, too. So the person who helps behind the scenes and
the one who would have written a list of who you should have honored.
Megan is my right hand, left hand, and all hands person who makes everything go. So you should be up here as well. Okay, now you can do what you got to do.
Make the list next.
Yeah.
So I invite all of us to bless our teachers in Madrachim by lifting our hands, joining Cantor and I in the bracha, the blessing. As you have blessed all of us, it's now our honor to bless you.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's radiance shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha. Shalom.
And may God always be a source of strength, of wholeness, completeness, and peace in your lives, as we all say together, Amen. Thank you so much. Of course, there's not a happier occasion than this, Cantor, right?
Let's all join together in Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
We praise you, Adonai, our God, guiding spirit of the universe, who gave us life and kept us safe and helped us to reach this incredibly important moment in our synagogue's history, as we say,
Amen.
Amen.
So we have one last thing we would like to do. So Mira, please come up. Rebecca, please come up. Sherry, you're already here. Come stand over here. No, not yet. No, you can stay right. for all the time and the effort and the energy and the inspiration that you give for leading us as volunteers, as lay people. This is for just a small token of our appreciation. We cannot give you that matches everything that Barb and I would love to be able to give to you, but a little bit of some flowers prior to Mother's Day, and just for everything that you do for us. We totally and love and appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you, Phil.
So thank you, teachers, Majachim, and please stay up there if your birthday is in May. If it's not, come get off the bima, would you please? And if your birthday's in May, come on up. We gotta celebrate birthdays. Let's first let the teachers off, maybe. You and I can hang over here and we'll let them get off. That's incredible.
Oh, that's awesome.
How old?
Her birthday too.
Her birthday today. Your birthday in May? Good. May birthdays right here. All their May birthdays. Come up on these steps. May birthdays. And this is actually your birthday today. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Happy birthday. I think we should sing happy birthday to her. Don't you, Brandon? Let's do this. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. May you all live to 120 years in good health, lots of happiness and love in your lives, as we all say. Amen. And now it's time to get your very own birthday pencil. Isn't it exciting? Birthday pencils are so exciting.
Oh, that's the best one. You're all at the beginning of May? No, I'm at the end. And then May 25th. Oh, the 26th.
My dad was the 25th, actually.
Look at us, Gemini. I got a rainbow.
Rainbow.
Oh, I got a pencil?
Yeah, of course. Well.
It's purple on me.
Me too. Sherry thinks Sherry wants to do. She was going to speak now too.
Yeah, let Sherry speak, and then
we'll do Mary.
Yeah. So Sherry, you want to speak now? So you guys are going to take it over now. You're going to say something. You can go down.
I'm a frequent flyer up here tonight. Shabbat Shalom. I am Sherry Wiesner, the VP of Education and Youth here at Temple Emanu-El, and it is my honor and my privilege to speak on behalf of our teaching staff and our fearless leaders, Phil and Barb. How could any of us have planned or prepared for what the last 2 years have brought, with shutdowns, masking, teaching online, teaching in person when we didn't know if it was safe, and following ever-changing rules and protocols. And that's exactly what the Temple Emanu-El teaching staff had to contend with. And this was done while waiting to see if any of our staff or students would get mildly or severely sick. I'm sure that Phil and Barb arrived each day holding their breath in preparation for what might unfold. Yet they pulled it off with flying colors. As a synagogue, we often take a Jewish theme and run it through our school for the year. Honor, respect, Lador Vador are fairly typical themes. This year it might as well have been pivot, pivot, pivot. Phil and Barb did a tremendous job pivoting this entire year. I want to thank Barb and Phil for their incredible service to our synagogue, to our teachers, and to our children. I want to thank every teacher and teaching assistant from our preschool, religious school, Hebrew school, youth group, and adult ed for their hard work and willingness to take on these most unprecedented challenges. Thank you to Rabbi and Cantor, who are continual teachers to our youth and our adults. I'm grateful to be a congregant in a place that cares so deeply about our members. And I'm equally honored to have the opportunity to work among you to educate our youth while growing such deeply caring, kind, and thoughtful students. I'm going to share the bema with my friend Rebecca Frederick in a moment, as she says a few words on behalf of the preschool committee. But let me take this moment to say thank you to Phil for his work with our religious school as I present this gift to you from your trusty religious school committee.
Well, I echo everything that Sherry said. It's been quite the last few years. So we entered the preschool summer of 2019, and 8 short months later, I remember the day when they said, school's gonna close for a week or two, come pick up your kid. And that was that. So we've had an interesting preschool experience, but it's been amazing. And our teachers have rocked it. And Miss Barb is there always as our fearless leader. So thank you to all of you. And I wouldn't have had it any other way. So on behalf of the entire preschool committee and all of our families, this is for you, Miss Barb.
You get to hear more talking. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Mira Karp, and on behalf of the Temple Emanu-El Board of Trustees, I'm pleased to welcome you to our Erev Shabbat Family Service and Teacher Appreciation Service, led by Rabbi Dana Magat, Cantor Leah Shafritz, our preschool teachers, our religious school teachers, and our madrachim, who all did a fantastic job up here tonight. After the service, we invite you to join us for Kiddush and Hamotzi in the Temple House. Today's oneg is sponsored by Shay Canty and Jacob Saracen in honor of the bar mitzvah of their son, Malachi, tomorrow, and the Frederick family in memory of Peggy Frederick. So first off, Mazel Tov to Malachi and his family. His bar mitzvah is tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. right here. Also, a heartfelt Todah Rabbah to all the teachers and madrachim for an amazing school year, even with all of its challenges. On Tuesday at noon, the rabbi will be holding his weekly chat on Zoom. On Wednesday at noon, join the rabbi for lunch and learn in person or Zoom. And on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. on Zoom, don't miss this important Green Team introduction to San Jose's Climate Smart Go Green team program that everyone can join. On Thursday at noon, the film discussion group will be reviewing the films The Front and Keeping the Faith, both on Amazon Prime. All are welcome to Zoom in. Next weekend, we have an entire weekend of Temple Emanu-El activities. On Friday, May 13th, our Erev Shabbat service will include Cantor's installation with 2 guest cantors, followed by an extra special oneg. On Shabbat, join us for Shabbat in Nature, mountain experience at 10 a.m. And then Sunday, please come to our annual meeting, which will be preceded by a fantastic brunch, which will include yummy pancakes made by the Brotherhood and a coffee cart. Brunch will start at 9 with the meeting following at 10 a.m. The meeting will feature an exciting participatory format, so the more voices that input into the breakout groups, the more responsive we can be to your needs. For the readers among you, we have 2 book clubs. Next Sefer Club meets on May 15th to discuss Color Me In by Natasha Diaz, and our new nonfiction Jewish book club next meets on June 12th to discuss the book Operation Thunderbolt by Saul David. Finally, for those of you who've always wanted to have that B'nai Mitzvah experience you did not have at 13, we're starting a new adult B'nai Mitzvah class, so let us know if you're interested. Please register for all in-person and Zoom events. Shabbat Shalom, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And by the way, our gift shop will be open during Oneg in case you need a last-minute gift for your mom. After Oneg. Shabbat Shalom.
Do not forget those flowers. And just want to reiterate next weekend, you want to hang out at Temple Emanu-El next weekend. That's just the way you want to do it. Let me just tell you. Friday really will be a very special event for us. Not just that we get to install our cantor, which she's been here for almost a year. Be nice to install her. We're trying to figure out where she'll be best here. So bring a wrench. You think up there? Is that what you guys think, Jody? Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But please come, and actually, Devorah Felder-Levy, the cantor Shir Chadash, will be with us, and Mark Childs, who is the cantor of Cantor's congregation when she was just a little girl growing up in Santa Barbara, will be here with us as well. So come and hang out. How often do you get to hear 3 cantors singing together? So it'll be wonderful, as well as members of Rock Shabbat, as well as members of our choir. Whom else? And Mazel Tones will even be, again, coming here next Friday. Well, repeat performance for Mazel Tones is fantastic. So come out and hang with us Friday. And then I just want to really underscore the importance of Sunday's annual meeting. This is the first time this is my 23rd annual meeting. This is the first time we're doing a very different format. It's really interactive. And this is an opportunity. We're going to reinvent ourselves. We have that opportunity. How often does a synagogue that's 168 years old gets to do that? So it's really an opportunity. So if you want to be involved in that process and really talk about involvement for our Jewish adjacent members of our congregation, this is the opportunity to have those types of conversations. And there'll be a coffee truck as well here, so you can get some nice espresso if you want to. Not that you need any motivation to be with us on Sunday, I'm sure. And with that, I think that's enough announcements. We continue with Aleinu on page 586. Please rise if you are able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
As we now come to this moment in our service, we think about members of our community who have died recently or in years past. I invite you, upon hearing the name of your loved one, if you choose to stand as a sign of love and grief for that person, and to remain standing till the names on our yahrzeit list have been recited. Then together we will all rise. On this Shabbat, we are mindful of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Esther Burton, Eldon Chernus. We also think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first year mourning for James Atlas, Michael Barco, Henry Barsky, Brenda Bausch, David Berg, Carol Bitter, Denise Blue, Robert Bleisma, Phyllis Birdman, Richard Berriesi, Curtis Cage, Mary Cage, Ruth Kahn, Alexander Cunningham, Norman Deshotsky, Rhoda Edwards, Carol Everett, Mervyn Feinstein, Alan Garshon, Lubov Katsis, Richard Gersten, Cirilo Guerra, Estella Guerra, former president of our congregation, Phil Hammer, Judy Fisher Harrington, Laura Jacobson, Deborah Katzman, Bernie Levine, Miriam Mickey Present Looper, Barry Miller, Roberta Stivelman Newman, Richard Peterson, Len Pomerantz, Gladys Popolo, Colin Powell, Corinne Ravel-Retchen, Joe Russo, Jane Sargent, Rosalind Schwartz, Arnold Schaffritz, William Shepard, Marilyn Siller, Jerry Turchin, Leanne Wanamaker, Reuben Morgan, Rabbi Martin S. Wiener, Lucy Young, Laura Ziffer. We also think of the following yahrzeits we observe on this Shabbat: As we think of Molly Bain, Irvin Becker, Eduarda Burns, Joseph Burns, Bessie Engelman Cohn, Ellis Forbes, Peggy Frederick, Varda Friedman, Jack Gardner, Helen Marchik Goldman, Siegfried Kahn, Elvira Kakis, Leonard Katz, Elias Levin, Sid Levin, Kate Levin, Phyllis Levy, Paris Frank Masick, Isaac Miller, Maxine Mutnick, Bernard Nowitz, Jamie Beth Nussbaum, Evelyn Popkin, Jerry Prezant, John Popolo, Sam Ravel, Dewey Richards, Laura Marie Rosen, Joseph Rosenberg, Ann Rotofsky, Carmen Russo, Isaac Russo, Rohi Sahim, Betty Schwartz, Lillian F. Silver, Sarah Simon, Max Sucher, Robert Tobias, Harry Aaron Wagner, Jack Weiss, Joe Welvang, Robert Wooten, Norman Zinker. Zichronam livracha, may all the memories of our loved ones endure as a blessing as we all rise, turning to page 598 to recite together our mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkada shmei rabba, be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malachutei, b'chayachon of yom echon v'chayi d'chol be'Israel, b'agalav uzman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'alam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitchumam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha b'rechu, le'alam minko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'elma v'imru amen. Yehei shlomo rabba meshamaya v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imru mav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to those who are bereaved among us, wherever they may be, as we say together, amen. Please be seated.
I want to invite our mazel tones back up to the steps for one last song. And a huge thank you to all of you for being here tonight and leading our music. And I'm excited that some of you will be back again next week. And really excited to get our program going up and going in the next year. You guys got this. Stay back here. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam shalom.
Well done, Mazel Tov. So good to have you back, really is. And now I invite all of our students to go to their parents. All children, go to your parents now. And we're going to do something for the first time, because you have to always embrace change. I think it's important, especially as Reformed Jews. So we are doing a generic parent blessing. So if one has a daughter, son, or non-binary child, this should work for them. So I invite you to lay your hands upon your child and repeat after me. Yesimchol Elohim Kesara Rivka Rachel Leah Ephraim Umenashe. May you be inspired to live in the tradition of Sarah and Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, Ephraim, and Manasseh, who carried forward the life of our people. Be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are. And now I invite the children to lay their hands upon their parent or parents or grandparent, as the case may be, and repeat after me, I love you. Okay, hugs and kisses, Shabbat Shalom. To the temple house. Let's onig this place.
That's Miss Barb. Or Jonas.
Ray, you sit so nicely. I'm so proud of you. I didn't know you could do that. Oh, sorry, sweetheart. Go ahead, you go that way. Thank you. Hi, Gabriel. Henry, is that really you? I remember you. I remember you too. Henry, you were like this big. I know, right? Gabriel, would you like a hug before you go? I never run out of hugs.
That's right.
Oh, thank you. Henry, it's so nice to see you. How old are you nowadays? No way, really? You just like, what are they feeding you? Like growth medicine to make you so tall? I'm really happy to see you. Is that what it is? Well, you're getting really tall. I think it's in your genes. I have a feeling that's really the case.